다음으로 더 컴퍼스 팀의 북극해에서의 블랙 카본의 인증과 폴라 코드를 통한 대응 방안으로 발표가 있겠습니다. 큰 박수로 환영해 주시기 바랍니다.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are Team The Compass, and today we are here to elaborate on the impact of black carbon in Arctic Sea and the improvement plan through polar code. Our presentation is comprised of 5 parts. First, the background and the purpose of the polar code. Second, the structure of the code. Third, challenges. Fourth, the improvement plan. And lastly, the conclusion. So now let's start with the background and the purpose of the polar code. The melting of the Arctic sea ice due to global warming and the development of navigational technology has drawn international attention to the development of the Northern Sea Route. The Northern Sea Route, which connects Asia to Europe, shortens the shipping route by 40% compared to the current Southern Sea Route. This means that the sailing period shortens from 30 days to 20 days. Now, due to such economic benefits, the number of ships using the Northern Sea Route has been increasing. This chart here shows that there has been a steady increase in the popularity of the route. Unfortunately, however, as the number of ships using the route goes up, the risk of marine accidents and pollution is also expected to rise as well. Therefore, the International Maritime Organization has prepared the enactment of the Polar Code. The Polar Code is made to establish the requirements made for vessels navigating in the Arctic and the Antarctic. Nevertheless, the regulation regarding black carbon is yet inadequate to handle the potentially detrimental impacts that it has on the climate of the Arctic area. Although the shipping emissions of black carbon is yet relatively small at present, the shipping emissions in the Arctic are projected to increase dramatically over the next several decades. In fact, it is expected to rise by up to 5 times by 2030 and almost by 20 times by 2050. Now, such a drastic and dramatic increase in the emission urges the need for the regulation of the shipping emission of black carbon. We, therefore, are here to claim that the International Maritime Organization should be aware of the magnitude of this problem and therefore develop regulations regarding the shipping emission. More specifically, we are here to propose amending 2 different treaties, mainly the Polar Code and also the MARPOL. Now, before I move on to the specific amendments made on the Polar Code, let's take a look at the structure of the code. The Polar Code is comprised of 3 parts. First, the introduction, second, part 1, and then part 2. Part 1 is subdivided into 2 parts, part 1A and part 1B. Part 1A contains mandatory provisions on safety measure, while part 1B contains recommendations on safety. Part 2 is also subdivided into 2 parts. Part 2A contains mandatory provisions on pollution prevention, while Part 2B contains recommendations on pollution prevention. Today, we would like to further elaborate on Part 2A and Part 2B in relation to black carbon. Although Part 2A and Part 2B in the Polar Code contains detailed instructions regarding other environmental matters, content related to air pollution is completely excluded in the Polar Code. Therefore, we suggest that the IMO should add a whole new chapter, Chapter 6, the prevention of air pollution from ships, so that the regulations regarding black carbon could be included. Before we go on to the details, our next teammate will be addressing the detrimental impacts of the black carbon.
Now let's find out what black carbon is and what it does to climate change. Black carbon, also known as soot, is strongly light-absorbing carbonaceous material. It is the most effective particulate matter at absorbing solar energy. Therefore, it is the one of major causes of global warming. Black carbon is formed by incomplete combustion of fossil fuels and biofuels and biomass. In summer, due to the melting of sea ice, mid-July to mid-October is called the open water period. This chart shows the monthly emission of black carbon. Black carbon emission is concentrated on July to October. That means most emission of black carbon is caused by ship's operation. The next map shows the distribution of black carbon existing in the Arctic. That means the significant amount of black carbon is emitted along ship's route. What this indicates is there is a direct correlation in the amount of black carbon existing in the Arctic and ship's operation in that area. The effects of black carbon on the global climate can be classified into the three following categories. Firstly, direct effect, then indirect effect, lastly, snow ice albedo effect. To begin with, black carbon has direct effect. Black carbon absorbs the light from the sun as well as the Earth's surface. Then it radiates the light back to the atmosphere, so warming the surrounding atmosphere as well as the entire planet. Secondly, black carbon also has indirect effects. Absorption of sunlight by low clouds increases the stability of the atmosphere below the clouds. This decreases the vertical mixing of moisture to the cold base. Such process is the cloud, which increases the solar energy input that reaches the Earth's surface. The last one is related to snow ice albedo effect. The deposition of soot increases melting of ice meshes. This decreases the surface albedo available to reflect solar energy back into space. The decreased snow albedo would increase surface temperature. Then, increased surface temperature would once again decrease the snow cover. Then, one unique factor of black carbon is that it has short residence time unlike other pollutants, such as carbon dioxide. This means that when the emission of black carbon is decreased, it will bring immediate benefits to the surrounding environment. Therefore, it is urgent that efforts should be made to reduce the amount of black carbon emitted on the Arctic Sea. The three concrete measures to achieve the goals of reducing black carbon emission would be explained by the next speaker.
Now, we will be focusing on the three technologies and operational practices that can reduce black carbon emission from shipping in the Arctic area. First, installing diesel particulate filters on vessel's engine. Second, slow steaming combined with derating. And lastly, including the Arctic area in emission control areas. First, installing diesel particulate filters on vessel engine. DPFs are after-treatment devices that are particularly effective at controlling diesel particulate matter and soot. It is estimated to reduce marine black carbon emissions by 80% according to following IMO reports. However, doubts has expressed on the feasibility of installation. Therefore, we have brought some real cases of DPFs used on real ships. First, DPF system installed on diesel engine on MOL-operated ocean-going vessel on February 2012. And this is the world's first application of the self-cleaning DPF on diesel engine and on ocean-going vessel. In addition to that, a Dutch company, Burger Maritime, are manufacturing and supplying the DPF system considering the size of engine rooms and the kind of ships. They also provide 24/7 after-sales service to ships on European ports. Now, knowing that the installation of filter is a feasible plan, let's look at how it works. This device incorporates a filter that relies on silicon carbide ceramic fibers. The filter collects the particulate matter when the exhaust gas of engine goes through it. Furthermore, it is a self-cleaning system that automatically combusts and eliminates the particulate matter, which is called regenerating. This allows for continual operation without clogging of the filter and requires no maintenance by seafarers. Let's move on to the second solution, slow steaming with derating. Slow steaming refers to the practice of operating ship at less than their maximum speed. When slow steaming is combined with derating, it is estimated to reduce marine black carbon emissions by approximately 15%. The key to this solution is that the derating system is an essential process for the slow steaming in order to reduce black carbon emission. Derating is a process of making adjustment to the engine combustion process in order to increase fuel efficiency. Now, here is a graph that clearly highlights the importance of derating. The blue curve indicates the fuel consumption rate of ship engine when it is operated at 100% normal continuous rating. When slow steaming is adopted, the curve goes up to the left, and that means the ship engine consumes more fuel compared to the ship running at 100% NCR. However, combining derating with slow steaming optimizes the ship engine to run at 80% of NCR. Hence, the blue curve parallel shift to the red curve. Therefore, through this graph, we can confirm the difference in the fuel consumption of ships that adopted derating and those that did not. Lastly, the last solution is to include the Arctic area in emission control area. Sulfur emission control area, which is called SECA, are sea areas in which stricter controls were established to minimize airborne emission from ships as defined by MAPOR Annex 6, Regulation number 13. If the Arctic region is included in the ECA, the restriction of sulfur content in fuel will be applied to the ship passing the Arctic Sea. Switching to low sulfur fuel can reduce marine black carbon emission by 30 to 80% depending on the fuel quality. Moreover, it can also enable the use of particulate filter for more dramatic particulate matter and black carbon reductions. This chart shows the difference of the sulfur content between ECA and non-ECA. Finally, let's move on to conclusion. Considering that the three solutions are available, we are here to propose amending the Polar Code Part 2A, Part 2B, and MAPOR Annex 6 Regulation 13. The amendments should look like this. We have added Chapter 6 Prevention Air Pollution from Ships to existing Polar Code, which ends up with Chapter 5. The Part 2A, which contains the mandatory provisions, accommodates the first solution, which was to install diesel particulate filters on ships. The first part consists of definitions. First, diesel particulate filters means a device designed to remove diesel particulate matter or soot from exhaust gas of a diesel engine. Second, ships constructed means the keels of which are laid or which are at a similar stage of construction. And third, existing ship means a ship which is not a new ship. Next, the structure requirements should be clarified as the following. First, for category A, B, and C ships constructed on or after 1st January 2017, DPFs shall be installed on board. And second, DPFs shall be installed on all ships of category A, B, and C constructed before 1st January 2017 by the date of the first scheduled dry docking after 1st January 2017, but not later than 1st January 2020.
Then the second solution of recommending slow steaming combined with derating is contained in part 2b. It also starts with clarifying the definition. First, slow steaming means reduction of vessel speed in order to cut fuel consumption. Second, derating means decrease engine load in order to decrease specific fuel oil consumption. After definition of terms, the specific guidelines is as follows. Ships are encouraged to implement slow steaming combined with derating when operating in Arctic waters.
Last but not least, we also propose amending Whirlpool Annex 6, Regulation number 14. As is shown on the screen, we suggest adding number 4, the Arctic area, to be included in the emission control areas. This way, the limits presented on the screen about the sulfur content of fuel oil will also be applied to the ships operating in the Arctic area. As demonstrated from this entire presentation, the emission of black carbon has serious impacts on the climate of the Arctic region. In the long term, this is not just a problem of the Arctic, but the problem of the entire human race. We need this to be fully acknowledged by the International Maritime Organization, and therefore, we urge the approval of this proposal. Thank you.
소프라스 팀의 활동 잘 들었습니다. 자료 및 참가자분들의 질문 시작하겠습니다.
A question from Thousand Sunny. Thank you first for your efforts. But by the way, we are just curious about the why you specifically selected DPM, diesel particle filter, among other multiple black carbon abatement technologies like scrubbers, the wife, and so on. And we're just curious about that fact.
First, thank you for your question. We have also considered many of abatement technologies such as scrubber or wife or using LNG fuel oils, but we are most considering the feasibility. Now the DPF, as I explained before, the MOL line operates already installed the MOL system on board at 2012, and the Dutch company Burger Maritime are now manufacturing and supplying the DPF system already. So even if there are many really positive solutions to reduce marine black carbon emissions, but let's say we are considering the feasibility of the solution. Thank you.
You have additional supplementary question? Yes, please.
Still asking from the Thousand Sunny. Thank you, by the way, for the answer. I'm very appreciated. We also suggested, the DPF too. But like we said, like one of these should be recommended, not DPF exactly, because discussions on the effects of DPF on marine engines are not done yet. We are also aware of the fact that Japanese company MOL and shipping and rating company, what is that? Anki? Yeah. Anki class is also already did the research on that, but I heard that the reason why the majority of the companies are not using the technology is the discussions are not fully done. You know, that research you mentioned, done by the Japanese company MOL, you know, is rather, you know, rather like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Just give us a second, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Could you show the slide? According to here, we also find out the research about DPF that the source was the formerly IMO report said bulk liquid and gas, but now it is pollution prevention and like as the PPR, formerly is the BLG 17th session and the information paper 7 at 2012. And we also searched this report paper and we find out the diesel particulate filter can remove black carbon emissions by 80% or more of the suit. Depends on the fuel quality and the maintenance of the machine.
We're not fully aware of the controversy that you have mentioned, but as far as we have researched, we have searched for it, we have found that there's a result that that proves that the diesel particulate filter removes 80% or more of the soot. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Well, as 2030 has dealt with a similar topic, the clearly see the similarities and the differences between the proposal from your team and that. Anyway, do I see any other card for the students? Huh? In such case, do any judges have a question? Yes, please.
Thank you, Chair. I have one question. Is there any other shipping line using GPF system without the MOL?
We cannot find like other shipping line or the shipping company using the diesel particulate filter, but we can ensure that a Dutch company which is manufacturing the diesel particulate filter and other like the pollution for the pollution reduction, they are making a lot of machine to reduce air pollution. And they are also manufacturing and supplying to ships on European ports. And now they also consider the size of engine rooms and the kind of ship. And I think that means there are some ships now is also using the diesel particulate matter, diesel particulate filters.
Well, the diesel particulate filter is actually in the process of becoming a feasible plan. So it's not widespread yet, but actually we believe that there has been a progress in the usage of it. Thank you, sir.
Any more? Mr. Kim?
Thank you, the campus, for your presentation. I was going to ask the same question to Southern Sonny has made a presentation. I believe there already exist SOx and NOx code, and also bumper cover thing. And what you are trying to do is to make mandatory that black carbon is not emitted in polar area. Could you tell us the kind of correlation between what you are trying to suggest and the existing conventions and code, such as NOx and SOx?
Could you please rephrase the question?
Could you tell us the gap between the existing codes or the convention and your suggestion?
I also asked the Southern Sunny same like this topic. If we are not included in the emission control area of sulfur, we should, following the regulation of blue curve, that now we should have the sulfur content of fuel at 3.5%, but at the 2020, we also in Arctic area we should have the fuel oil of the sulfur content 0.5%, but we suggest the Arctic area included to emission control area to commit the red curve that a 0.1% of sulfur content from now on. This is my answer.
I think it's, as you know, another cause of so flow is used.
땡큐 감사합니다. 더 컨퍼런스 여러분들께 다시 한번 박수 드립니다.